Hello students, today we'll do the next part of the human health and diseases. So you have studied the different types of diseases. What are diseases? Types of diseases, bacterial, viral, protozoan, all that. Now we'll study that how does our body fight against these diseases. So uh, that mechanism comes under the term immunity. So the ability of body to fight the disease causing organism is called the immunity. And here the this overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing microorganisms conferred by the immune system, that is immunity. Stimulated lymphocytes produces many types of cells. You know that in our blood the special cells are there known as the lymphocytes, which are responsible to produce the particular antibodies or the cells which in turn kills these microorganisms. So a stimulated lymphocyte produces many types of cells. Most of these cells, they remain ordinarily sensitized lymphocytes designed to fight against the specific antigens and die after some times, maybe after weeks or the months. Some other cells are also produced that become the memory cells, and these memory cells, it lives within the lymph nodes without any activity for many years. So this is our system in which that our body fights with the disease causing microorganisms. Now types of immunity. Immunity is of two types: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity means it is present from the time of the birth. You have studied in 10th class also that this type of immunity is known as the hereditary also, because it is being the non-specific, and hereditary because it is passed from one generation to the next generation, and it is non-specific type. So it consists of four barriers. What are these four barriers? Physical barriers are there, like skin and mucous coating of respiratory, gastrointestinal and urogenital tract. There it prevents the entry of microbes into the body. So this mucous coating or mucous lining of these all organs, this tract, they prevent the entry of microbes into the body. Physiological barriers are there, like acid in stomach. You know that hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach. Saliva in mouth, tears from eyes, it contains that some certain chemicals, they like the enzyme lysozyme, which kills the microorganisms. Cellular barriers are there, like blood has leukocytes such as polymorphonuclear leukocytes, monocytes, etc. And tissue also has the macrophages which phagocytose the microphagocytose means they kill the microorganism by the process of phagocytosis. So these all are the cellular barriers. Then others are their cytokine barriers. So these are the special proteins called interferons. These are secreted by the virus infected cells that prevent the further spread of the viral infection. Means when the virus enters into our body, then our cells, they secrete a special protein. These are known as the interferons, and these interferons further, they prevent the further spread of the viral infection. Now we will see here the acquired or specific immunity. Acquired, it is acquired, which means that it is produced in response to an encounter with a pathogen based on a memory. It is being pathogen specific, characterized by the memory. Means when our body encounters a pathogen for the first time, it produces a response which is known as the primary response, and it is of low intensity. Then further subsequent encounter with the same pathogen, means next time when the same pathogen enters into our body, then a highly intensified secondary response takes place. So the primary and secondary immune responses are carried out with the help of the special cells in the acquired immunity. And let me see this primary response. That first primary response, pathogen enters first time, produces low intensity, and the same pathogen attacks again, then intensified immune system, that is the secondary that response. So this primary and secondary response, They are carried out with the help of two special types of lymphocytes in our blood, that is B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So acquired immunity involves these two lymphocytes. Now what is the role of B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte? B lymphocytes secrete protein. These proteins are known as the antibodies in response to the pathogens. So antibodies are the specialized protein with 4 peptide chains, 2 light and 2 heavy, hence denoted as H2L2. And the antibodies like IgA, IgM, IgE, these are the examples of the antibodies. And these antibodies, they generate the humoral immune response found in blood. So these antibodies are found in blood. So structure of antibodies we will study further in the next lecture in detail, that the general structure of the antibody and the role of all these antibodies you have in detail. So understood, children? B lymphocytes responsible for humoral immune response. How do they respond? By producing the antibodies. Now further the next response is there, that is T lymphocyte. By the B lymphocyte we have studied T lymphocyte. T lymphocytes, they help the B cells, that is the B lymphocytes, to produce the antibodies. So they generate cell mediated immune response. So cell mediated immune response is produced by the T lymphocyte. This response helps the body to differentiate between self and non-self, as occurs in the case of graft rejection. Self means body is able to identify its cells. So body cells are self. Non-self means the cells which are not of our body. They are other cells. So cells other than our body, they are non-self. So it helps in the case of graft rejections. You know that in the surgery, when these organs in the, basically in the organ transplant, when the organs are they are transplanted, then that organ works as the the foreign cells. So that foreign cells or the foreign body, they are recognized as the enemy in our body. So in order to avoid it, that certain medicines are given to the patient in order to avoid this kind of immune response. So understood, children? B lymphocyte, T lymphocyte. B lymphocyte, they are responsible to produce humoral immune response found in blood, and T lymphocyte, they help B cells to produce antibodies, and they generate the cell mediated immune response. Now the differences between the active immunity and passive immunity. So active immunity, this is naturally acquired immunity produced in most of the produced in the host body in response to an antigen. What is antigen? A foreign that substance, a microorganism which enters in our body and cause the disease, that is antigen. So this active immunity, naturally acquired immunity produced in the host body in response to an antigen. Immunization and body naturally getting immune to a microbe that had caused infection previously. These are all are the examples of the active immunity. Passive immunity, when ready-made antibodies are provided to an individual to protect against the foreign agents. Like in active immunity, our body itself produces antibodies, body's response. But in passive immunity, ready-made antibodies are provided to the individual. For example, colostrum. Colostrum, this is the first milk of the mother. So colostrum present in mother's milk, it contains the IgA. This type of antibody, that is IgA, immunoglobulin A, and also the fetus gets antibody from mother also through the placenta. So this is the example of the passive immunity. Now how does vaccination help? As I said, immunization is a kind of active immunity. So how does vaccination help? Vaccines are nothing but inactivated pathogens. You have studied in the previous classes what are vaccines. So vaccines are prepared by the inactive pathogens, inactive microorganisms which cause the disease. So these disease causing microorganism or pathogens, they are inserted in a particular dose in our body in their inactivated form or killed or attenuated. So these inactivated pathogens, they form the vaccine. These inactivated pathogens, when produced in the body, they produce a primary immune response and antibodies are produced against the pathogen. As I said you, primary and secondary response. तो सबसे पहला response कौन सा produce होगा? Primary immune response. So inactivated pathogen जैसे ही body के अंदर enter करेंगे, they will produce the primary immune response. And what will be the response? Antibody produce होगी उस pathogen के against. Then B and T cells are produced. Then when the pathogen again attacks the person, then memory B and T cells, they generate massive immune response and pathogen is killed. So पहले से जो तैयार antibodies होंगी या जो cells होंगी like memory B and T cells, उसके second time attack पर, pathogen के second time attack पर उसको जो है वो kill कर देंगी ये cells. So this is the mechanism of working of vaccines. Now problems of the immune system. So we'll study two problems here, the allergies and autoimmunity. So allergies, these are the exaggerated immune response to certain antigens present in the environment. So environment के अंदर कुछ substances ऐसे होते हैं जिसके लिए हमारी body hyper तरीके से जो है respond करती है, and that produces that this allergy. That is the reason for this allergy. So exaggerated immune response to certain antigen present in the environment, this is known as the allergy. And the substance which cause this allergy, that is known as the allergen. So the substance to which such an immune response is produced is called the allergen. And the antibodies produced to this are of IgE type of antibodies are produced. And during allergic reactions, chemicals such as histamines and serotonins are released. So allergic reactions occurs due to the liberation of this histamine and serotonin. These are produced by the mast cells. Histamine remains in the bound state in certain tissues or the tissue cells known as the mast cells and the basophil cells of the blood. So this histamine is found in the mast cells and the basophil cells of the blood. And further that symptoms are we'll study the symptoms. So what are the symptoms? Allergic reactions are being very rapid, usually very rapid, and the most common manifestations are there: itching, skin eruptions, urticaria, allergic dermatitis, allergic rhinitis, watering from the nose, then sneezing, wheezing, asthma, allergic conjunctivitis, redness with watering from the eyes. All these are the symptoms. Difficulty in breathing. All these are the symptoms of the allergies. Now allergy test. Patient is injected with the small doses of the allergen to monitor his response. So this is allergy test. And antihistamines, adrenalines and steroids, they may be given to the person in order to avoid this allergy symptoms. So this is all about the allergy. Now next that problem we will study, this is the autoimmunity. In autoimmunity, what happens that the body generates immune response against the own cells. Means you know that immunological reactions, they are of major importance in the protection of host from disease producing organisms. So sometimes it happens the immune system goes off the track and turns against self. Means our immune system does not recognize the self. Self means the body cells. So the response in which an individual forms antibodies against his own antigens is referred to the autoimmune response. And frequently autoimmune response give rise to pathological conditions that are known as the autoimmune diseases. The disorder depends on the self antigen involved. For instance, if it is RBC, then the body destroys its own RBC. सपोज बॉडी सिस्टम फेल हो जाता है RBC को आइडेंटिफाई करने में, तो क्या होगा, वो RBC को सेल्फ नहीं समझ करके नॉन सेल्फ समझेगा सिस्टम, एंड देन इट स्टार्ट्स टू डिस्ट्रॉय द its own RBC, causing the chronic anemia. Similarly, if it is muscle cells, so if that body, this immune system does not recognize the muscle cells, means it does not recognize the muscle cell as that self, then in that case it results in the destruction of the muscles. तो muscles का destruction शुरू हो जाएगा, that causes the problem myasthenia gravis. And another example of autoimmune disease is the Hashimoto disease, where immune response develops against a person's own thyroid, resulting in the destruction of thyroid. तो उसमें thyroid gland जो है वो destroy होने लग जाती है. So that is Hashimoto disease. And rheumatoid this rheumatoid arthritis is also there, which affects many people in our society. That is also the autoimmune response. So these are all the examples of autoimmune disease. So reasons, they are genetic, sometimes they are unknown also. And one example here shown, that is rheumatoid. I explained you many here, that is myasthenia gravis, Hashimoto disease. Now human immune system. So certain structures present in our body, organs are there which are responsible to maintain the immune system. So what are these organs that we study here? The lymphoid organs. So what are lymphoid organs? Lymphoid organs are the organs where origin and or the maturation and the proliferation of lymphocyte occurs. Means these are the places where the production of the lymphocyte, their number increase, means lymphocyte, they multiply there, and the maturation and origin of lymphocyte takes place. So lymphoid organs are of two types, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs consist of bone marrow and thymus. Here immature lymphocytes are differentiated to form antigen sensitive lymphocytes. So they are the primary lymphoid organs. So bone marrow first. Here all the blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. So bone marrow, you know, that is the site of production of all the blood cells. So bone marrow gave rise to all of the lymphoid cells that migrate to the thymus for T cell maturation, as well as to the major population of conventional B cells. Then the thymus. Thymus is responsible for the maturation of T lymphocytes. This lobed organ is situated near the heart, and it keeps on reducing in size as the age increases. So here this bone marrow and the thymus, they provide microenvironment for the development and maturation of T lymphocytes. Now we'll study the next organ, that is secondary lymphoid organs. Here the lymphocytes migrate here after attaining the maturity. So after attaining maturity, they migrate from here. It includes spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patches, and the appendix is there. So in this we'll study first spleen. Spleen is a large bean shaped lymphoid organ. Large bean shaped lymphoid organ situated in the left upper part of the abdomen, and like other lymphoid tissue, it is a center where B and T lymphocytes multiply and plays important role in immune responses. It also helps in the removal of debris and other particulate matter from circulating blood. The aged or defective blood cells, particularly erythrocytes, are also removed from the circulation by spleen. So this is the role of a spleen. And next is the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes, they are located at the different points throughout the immune system. So what are lymph nodes? Small bean shaped organs found at varying points along the lymphatic system. कहाँ कहाँ पर होते हैं lymph nodes? Like for example groin, armpit and mesentery. Each lymph node consists of a connective tissue framework and of a numerous lymphocytes and other cells that fill the inner space. and two major functions attributed to lymph node are there. क्या function है इनके? They trap the antigen present in lymph or tissue fluid, and these antigens cause activation of the lymphocytes and generation of immune response. So they are responsible for non-specific filtration of particulate matter and bacteria from lymph by the phagocytic activity of macrophages, and storage and proliferation of B and T lymphocytes and antibody production. So this is the function of lymph node. Now MALT, M-A-L-T, mucosal associated lymphoid tissue. So you have studied that role of the mucosa. Here the mucosa lined in the major tracts like respiratory, digestive, urogenital. So here this forms the MALT, that is mucosal associated lymphoid tissue, consists of 50% of lymphoid tissue in the body. So the main site of entry of the microbes into the body through the epithelial surfaces containing this mucosal epithelial cells. So the lymphoid tissue associated with throat and nasal passages. तो पहला lymphoid tissue कहाँ present होगा? Throat की lining and nasal passages की lining. That is known as NALT, nasal associated lymphoid tissue. Here they are the tonsils also. They are similar to the lymph nodes and consist of B cell follicle. Antigens and foreign particles are trapped within the this epithelium, and further they are transported to the lymphoid follicles. So this is the type of MALT, NALT. And next type will study the gut associated lymphoid tissue, that is GALT. तो ये जो lymphoid tissue है कहाँ पर है? Intestine में. So here it is composed of lymphoid complexes called Peyer's patches in the ileum, which consist of specialized epithelium, antigen processing cells and intraepithelium lymphocytes. So ये जो structures हैं Peyer's patches in the ileum, they occur strategically at specific areas in the digestive tract. और role क्या है इनका? To protect the body against microbes entering via the intestinal tract. So intestinal tract के अंदर जो भी microorganism enter हो जाएंगे, that will be killed by this Peyer's patches found in the ileum. Then the lymphoid tissue which is present in the respiratory tract, in the bronchus, that is BALT. It is also similar to the Peyer's patches and other lymphoid tissues of the gut. It consists of lymphoid segregates and follicles and is found along the main bronchi in the lobes of lungs. और यहाँ भी उसका function वही है same, to kill the microorganism. Now you have that one more disease, that is AIDS, related with the immunity only. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, caused by the virus HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. HIV is a retrovirus, RNA virus, and it is a retrovirus. Now transmission of HIV occurs through the sexual contact with the infected person, sharing infected needles is in case of intravenous drug abusers, transfusion of contaminated blood, infected mother to child through placenta, time lag between infection and appearance of symptoms is much more. मीन्स इन्फेक्शन होने के बाद ज़रूरी नहीं है कि तुरंत ही उसमें सिम्टम्स जो है वो अपीयर हो, उसको अपीयर होने में टाइम भी लग सकता है, राइट फ्रॉम फ्यू मंथ्स टू मेनी ईयर्स. मीन्स मेनी ईयर्स टिल 5 to 10 years it may take the time in the appearance of symptoms. Now transmission of HIV occurs through all these reasons. Here I explained you already that sexual contact with the infected person, sharing infected needles, transfusion of the contaminated blood, means the blood contains that HIV, infected mother to the child through placenta. Now how does AIDS infection spread? This is important. Virus here enters the body of a person and enters macrophages. This virus replicates means it forms its copy. So this virus replicates. Viral RNA reverse transcribes to viral DNA. This is reverse transcription, I explained you in genetics. So viral DNA पहले क्या form करेगा? It forms DNA, viral DNA. This viral DNA incorporated into host DNA and further न्यू वायरल पार्टिकल्स आर प्रोड्यूस, मीन्स फिर ये वायरल DNA it produces the viral RNA. This is the reverse transcription. So let me see it through the diagram here. This is the retrovirus, that is HIV. This viral core and viral protein, this virus infects the normal cell. Now it enters into the cell, viral RNA is introduced into the cell, viral DNA is produced by the reverse transcriptase enzyme, and viral DNA further it incorporated into the host genome, means host DNA के साथ incorporate होगा, and then it produces the new viral RNA. अब host के DNA के साथ ये combine होकर के new viral RNA form करेगा. So new viral RNA is produced by the infected cell, and these new viruses they are produced, they further enter into the other cells, they can infect the other cells, but infected cell can survive while viruses are being replicated and released. So in this manner the infection of the AIDS spread. So understood here that it enters into the cells, and the macrophages become a virtual HIV factory, मतलब बहुत सारे HIV वायरस प्रोड्यूस होंगे मैक्रोफेजेस के अंदर. मैक्रोफेजेस से HIV एंटर करेगा T lymphocytes में, helper T lymphocytes. Then this T lymphocytes, in the T lymphocytes this HIV further replicates and produces its progeny, means many copies of the virus. These virus copies or progenies are released and they attack other T lymphocytes. Therefore T lymphocyte starts decreasing in number. So it mainly infects the T lymphocytes. तो T lymphocytes के नंबर डिक्रीज होंगे एंड जो इम्यून रिस्पॉन्स जो होगा पर्सन का वो वीक हो जाएगा. एज आई एक्सप्लेन्ड यू हियर दैट रोल ऑफ द T lymphocytes in the immune system. तो immune system weak हो जाएगा. Even infections which could be overcome easily start aggravating. The simple infections जो कि easily overcome हो सकते हैं, that infection also occurs in the person's body. Diagnosis of AIDS by ELISA, that is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, and treatment कोई permanent cure नहीं है. Antiretroviral therapies हैं, can prolong the life of patient. Now prevention of AIDS, ensuring use of disposable syringes, screening blood from blood banks, then this avoiding here that unsafe sex, and here that National AIDS Control Organization and many NGOs are doing a lot to create the awareness among the people. So students, this portion is over now, and about the immune system and the diseases related with the immune system we have